Previously on Coventry City Diaries. Doncaster then have a penalty. And then we go 1-0 down. And then there's so much bad temper going on in the stands that half of us didn't even see the final nail in the coffin that was 2-0. When will it end? So, I am now back for a third series, and for those that don't know me, you'll have to just watch the previous episodes of the last 2 years. So, this summer it's been a long one, again, and we've had a lot of comings and goings in the transfers, again. And also, there's loads of too much high expectation by the Cov fans. Again. And the reason why I say these things is, obviously, I'm now glad that Clive Platt, Freddie Eastwood, Sammy Clingan and Gail Biggie Romana had all been fucked off. Because they were all getting on my nerves, never rated any of them. And one or two others. But I don't really have a lot of faith in the signings that we've brought, because they've all been released, or some of them have anyway. Kevin Kilban was, and if they were that good, they wouldn't end up at Coventry City, would they? So I just think we'll be lucky if we finish 12th or 13th, because, well, that's the way it's looking anyway from the performances, but it is only early days. And Andy Thorne has only been able to grab what he can afford, not what he wants. Because no quality agent in their right mind would let any of their high quality players come to Coventry City because of the way it's run by Sisu. So, on to the Dagenham game. I'd waited years for this fixture. Reason being is because I was born in Dagenham and I only live 2 miles down the road from it in Romford. And I have to say, it was absolutely awful. It had the atmosphere and the gameplay of a pre-season friendly. We didn't really do a lot, anything special, and we got a penalty out of nothing. And I can only think the referee must have thought, you know what, I can't be asked to stay here for another extra half hour in extra time and penalties. So just give them a penalty and I can go home, and that'll be that. And but I would just treat that as beginner's luck for this season. So on to the Yeovil game. I left Waterloo to go to Yeovil. Got into the pub, got half pissed as usual. Good to see all the boys again. And made my way into the ground with 2,000 other Cov fans. Great atmosphere in there, absolutely red hot day as well. And for the first 10 minutes it was looking alright because we scored. But then 10 minutes after that we let them equalise from a free header on a corner. And then we just deflated from there because there was hardly any presence up front. The midfield were all over the place. There was no urgency. There was no sharpness. There was no, you know, all guns blazing attitude. But of course, we've got to remember that we can't underestimate clubs like Yeovil just because they've got a small fan base and they're not very famous and all that. And just because we were in a higher league last year. You know, if we were that good, we wouldn't be in League One in the first place, would we? But Adam Barton, I think, was about the only outfield player I thought did anything really good other than Cody McDonald's goal. And that was I think it was him, that long range shot where he hit the post, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Well, anyway, he was unlucky, he was on target. If he'd have just been that yard to the left, it would have probably gone in, because the keeper was beaten. But for me, my match donkey has to be Cody McDonald. Although he did score, he didn't half miss a sitter at the end. I mean, how can you miss from 8 yards out and smash it over the bar? Oh, I mean, it's harder to miss from there. I look back at last year and I look at Cody McDonald and I think, who's worse, him or Lucas Jukovic? But obviously they were all terrible. You know, McSheffrey was way off. Fleck wasn't very good at the time he was on the pitch. Billy Daniels, I don't know who the hell he was, but he wasn't all that. Jordan Clark was shit as usual. So the only man of the match I can think of is Joe Murphy, because he kept us in the game. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got the draw. But anyway, it's only the start of the season. There's still another 45 games left to play, and I know, say it every season when we bring in a new team, it will take time for them to gel. Obviously, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We just have to see in the future. But I still honestly don't think we're going to get promoted. I really don't. And the best we will do is about 12th or 13th place at this point anyway. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll just have to see. Next game is Sheffield United. Actually no, I'll go to that in a minute. Just bringing to my point about the players we brought in and all that, and all what I've said about the bad performances. Well, this is exactly the reason why I didn't get a season ticket, because I am not prepared to pay nearly 300 quid for Sisu not to do anything with it. So I think it makes sense. So I just decided to get a £25 membership card, so I'm second in line to do the away games. You know, get second in line after season tickets to get the away tickets, that is. I will do some home games this year, obviously, but one thing I am really looking forward to this season, and that is the away games, because there's about 10 or 11 grounds I haven't been to. The tickets are really cheap. In the terraces, they can't tell you to sit down. And I don't know, I go to these small grounds, and I actually do feel like I'm at a football match. And I just think they're so much better than all these enormous corporate sponsored stadiums with all these really stupid rules and overpriced food and drink, because it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, we've now got Sheffield United on Tuesday night. Everyone says that's a big game. I really don't know why. You know, Sheffield United are not massive. They're like Leeds. They're just a name. You know, a certain football club that you recognise. I mean, if they really were that good, then why didn't they get promoted last year and lose a 7-point lead with about 5 or 6 games to go, and then lose on penalties in the playoff final against Huddersfield? I mean, it does make me laugh. I go on Facebook on the Empower League One page. The arguments of who's bigger and who's smaller. It's like two vegetarians fighting over a sausage. That's the only way I can describe it, really. Oh, we're a big club because of our fan base. Yes, and it's our fan base is what took us from the Premiership to the 3rd tier of English football in the space of 11 years, wasn't it? Oh, but we're a big club because we've been in Europe before. Yes, it was all those Disney magic moments and heady days from the 70s, 80s and 90s was what took us to the 3rd tier of English football, wasn't it? You know, history's history. But anyway, this is now the end of this episode. I don't know what the next one I'll be doing is, so I'll just have to let you know. Probably be either Crew Away or Tranmere Away in the next couple of weeks. So I'll see you then. Ta-da.